This is ANN News Brief.
Good afternoon. I'm Lucy Adeyemi. Ghana says it's on track to exit its almost $1 billion bailout program with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, by the end of the year. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta said in a speech to Parliament while presenting the 2019 budget proposal that his country was also on course to achieving its fiscal deficit target of 3.7% of GDP for the year, as it works to convince investors it is committed to sound economic policies. He thanked the IMF and expressed determination to maintain a combination of economic discipline and vibrancy that will ensure such rescue will not be needed in the future. President Nana Akufo-Addo's New Patriotic Party came to power, calling for economic reform after his predecessor, John Dramani Mahama, was forced to go to the IMF for a bailout 3 years ago. The new government has worked to chip away at Ghana's debt and curtail the deficit. A review committee of South Africa's parliament has adopted a resolution to pave way for its land expropriation plan without compensation. This followed a lengthy process of public consultations, including a report which recommends a section of the Constitution be amended to be more explicit on land expropriation. Main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, has voted against the planned amendment. President Cyril Ramaphosa has repeatedly assured investors and international partners that the redistribution of land will be done responsibly and within the law. There have been concerns in some quarters over South Africa's land reform plans. Some have pointed to Zimbabwe's disastrous seizures as a lesson on what not to do. We'll be back after the short break.
If you know fit go internet or follow for Twitter, you know fit snap photo send or get it photo send. Now because you dey use Palasa, your phone no dey answer. See me see wahala. My brother, go get smartphone, yeah. Drop that Palasa phone. Phone wey no go for your hand, yeah. Drop that Palasa phone. Phone wey no fit take selfie. Drop that Palasa phone. No be correct phone, yeah. Drop that Palasa phone.
Upgrade to a smartphone today and get double data for 6 months on any MTN data bundle you buy. Simply purchase a smartphone from any store, anywhere in Nigeria, or bring your current smartphone from any network. Insert your MTN SIM card to start enjoying your double data bonus. Offer is open to all new and existing MTN subscribers. Join the largest smartphone movement today.
Make it not for your hand, that's Palasa phone.
Russia has warned France on Thursday that it must put aside parochial national interests and recognize its peace efforts in the Central African Republic as negotiations continued on a contentious UN Security Council resolution. France has presented a draft resolution that takes aim at recent Russian efforts to broker peace deals in CAR by specifying that an African-led initiative is the only framework for a solution. Russia, working with Sudan, convened talks in August in Khartoum on Central African militias who signed a preliminary agreement. They drew criticism from France for what it says is unhelpful meddling in its former colony. Meanwhile, France, Russia, and the United States were locked in negotiations on Wednesday to overcome differences over peace effort in the Central African Republic ahead of a deadline for renewing the mandate of the UN peacekeeping mission there. That's ANN News Brief. Join us again at 5:30 for our full newscast. For details on these and other stories, visit our website, annafrica.net. Also join the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.